Alright, so I finally got the balls to show this. This is something that in the time I actually purchased it, it bothered me. Uh, it really just fucking bothered me, and I even said it in a YouTube post, which I still hold my word to this day about that. Whoever did this is a fucking retard. Um, Basically, a few months ago, my mom bought this Joebot, and it was a decent price. It wasn't necessarily cheap. And I was thinking, okay, it's if it's painted, I can just remove the paint. If it's something legitimate, then that's pretty nice. Of course, it's always the worst case scenario here, and this is actually a fucking repainted Joebot. If you cannot, distinguish the corpse, here's pretty much the face of it. It's got missing screws. The person used a really disgusting paint that sticks to your finger. It's just absolutely disgusting from wherever you see it, and I'm trying to do the best I can to gather the screws because the screws are all mixed up. This animal grabbed it and literally put big screws in somewhere, small screws in somewhere else. So I'm trying to gather the screws that are, slightly long, the ones that are normal, the ones that are long, the three sizes of long screws, and these tiny ones that I believe are for the beginning of the arm over here. If it can focus, that is. There. I'm not too sure though. Again, I don't have a Joebot that I've never tampered with because I don't even have another one. This is my very first one, and even though it worked, it seemed to somewhat fully work. I know that the gears are split because of the sound and everything, and I want to get rid of this disgusting custom job. As you guys can see here, I already was able to remove a chunk from the back. This used to be dark blue and blue, but again, it's just so sticky, so gooey that it really will require me uh, to do a massive repair work on every single part this thing has, and then join everything together and pray it fucking works, because it's just terrible, and that's the only way I can find to deal with. But let me show you. This is just disgusting. This is all painted with a really sticky paint, uh, because it was yellowed up. In fact, I do have a part here that I was able to take the paint off. It is all yellowed up. I really don't give a shit if it's yellowed up or not. I could care less about the color. I just want it to be original, and I just want it to fully work, just like it did, but a little better, because I do know that this can be adjusted and improved. It's obvious, but I'm pretty much going through this right now. It's a pain in the ass. I don't even know if a few things are actually ruined, tampered, or what, but there's a few things that kind of ring a bell, and I'm really worried about that. And it's that, for example, these brushes don't have the fourth brush. I'm not too sure if this is something that was purposely removed in the factory, or if this is actually something that the idiot who did this uh, fucked up, you know. What else? Of course, the screws and everything. There's a few screw holders that are broken off just because of the idiot that used a large screw in the place where a tiny one is supposed to be. Uh, I mean, wherever you see it from, it's just a fucking tragedy. I really hope I can fix this thing, because again, it's the only Joebot I have, and probably the only one I'll ever have. In Argentina, they never sold it. This must be something imported from the US. Wowwee robots in general, as I said, it's a very rare occasion. It's a very unique case when something like this surfaces in Argentina for purchase. Robo Sapien, it's a fact. It's common here. It was sold, it was imported, whatever. I don't know, but these things know. It was just the Robo Sapien. So I'm not too sure. I'm just taking everything apart and seeing if I can gather the screws for certain parts, so I have those areas figured. Like, for example, the legs are figured. I know that for the, at least as of what it shows here, which I hope is the thing, they use these slightly longer screws for the bottom part of the leg, which is pretty much this one, and they use these normal screws for the top area of the leg, which is pretty much this one. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out where do these tiny ass screws go. My belief is that they actually go in the small screw holder over here on the top of the shoulder. But as you guys can see, I had to do a lot of rolling back in this thing. I disconnected everything. I'm gonna see what I do about the mechanism. I have no idea, and I don't even know how to begin this. Where the fuck to start? Because right now I'm just figuring, okay, this part goes here, this part goes there. There's this missing, there's that missing. Simple work, but I just don't know where the hell to begin from. I don't know if I just. And that's why the last time I remember when I first got it, I was just putting the parts in very hot water and chipping the shitty paint off. Because I just don't know what the fuck to do. Again, even this. Now I realized that this is actually a clear silver. No, clear silver. Sorry, there's no clear silver. It doesn't even exist. A clear purple piece, and they just painted it completely blue. And of course, a lot of people are gonna say it. Yes, it's like this. They painted it like Mega Man. The person who had it was a fucking gamer and apparently a phone repairist. Which again, if this is what they did with this robot, I don't want to fucking imagine what they did with a fucking phone. Because the phone I brought it in, which is pretty much that, the box I received it in, which is that one, is from Gamer Headset, I think it was, or something, a gamer speaker system, and it was full with boxes of phone screens and shit. That's pretty much where I got these bags, that's where I grabbed these bags from to keep all my phones. Uh, it's just a fucking tragedy. And the thing is actually bug infested, or well, not so bug infested, but the feed and everything, you can see that bugs got in there at some given point. So again, it's just a fucking painstaking job that I'm going to have to take along. Thankfully, there's nothing necessarily broken about the functionality. I got it to walk, I got it to battle mode, I got it to do the dance demos a couple of times. It does it just fine, and I like how it does it. Everything, but I do know that there's a few parts that don't seem to work, just like the sensors on the hands. And of course, another thing that I completely forgot to show. This animal actually destroyed, at least I believe that's what happened, destroyed the original. It basically just removed the original isolation from the wires, and they replaced it with this, which I'll be dead as honest. It isn't that bad of a choice. It actually looks it looks fine to the eye. It looks good. I'll see if I keep it or not, because it does look good and it's not something rubbery that can actually hit against the plastic and something and melt it, just like the V2 and the V1 and the things I'm talking about with the other robots that have the rubber covering. So, but again, look at this shit. This is just not a proper fucking repair. Of course, this blue thing over here is just a stain that I made with a paint marker to make sure that I know that this is arm 1 and arm 2, at least right now. But again, that's pretty much what I'm going through. It's a pain in the ass. It's an absolute pain in the ass. And I'm not too sure if I'll ever get it working properly again, but might as well try. It's my only Joebot. And I already have nothing to lose other than a pretty nice retarded robot toy that's pretty cool. Other than that, that's practically it. I'm going to be taking this project. I don't know if I'll be abandoning again the whole project for a few months like I did last time, because last time I just got it disassembled from the back and a little bit from one leg, and that was it. Right now I'm trying to figure where each screw goes, so if I just do a couple of things, like take a little bit more of the paint off, when I go back to it, I know where everything goes. I have photos, I have the screws properly placed in some holders, and some others I'm going to have to figure out where they go, as I said. These microphones, I thought that the microphone was bad, but they told me that the robot itself has a shitty voice recognition, so I'm assuming that's pretty much how it goes. And that's pretty much why, it doesn't always hear what you say. Like, personally, the only thing that this one can hear is when you say robot. I got it to do the dance demonstration by the voice command and everything a couple of times, but in the battle mode. But again, voice recognition is shit. So what can I do? Anyways, that's practically it. So I'm not too sure where I'm going to end up with this.